one of the most meaningful things that anyone has done for me is when we saw my brother-in-law on the East Coast, and we were out there. We were there for lunch with him, and he didn't really say anything about Aviva the entire time, but at the end when we were leaving, he just gave me a big hug, 5-minute hug, and just held me and cried with me, and that's meaningful. I mean, that I still remember to this day. I won't forget that about him. But I think the biggest misconception about child loss and how to react, how to respond is really we, our bereaving parents, we want to talk about our children. You want to come on your show and talk about our child, and we're so
You
thankful.
still have 3 kids, and you still want to talk about all 3 of your kids.
I know. And we want them, to be remembered. And I would say, the journey to becoming a parent, when you enter the realm of parenthood, you really want your child to have the best future possible. And I think that transition, that major change in values and perception, how you look at life, is equivalent in a similar way to a parent that loses a child who only wants that child to really be remembered and really be thought of, and talk about him, and know that we're not the only people that think about our son, our daughter. We want others to mention that, and if they don't ask, it feels much more isolated. It feels much more lonely than it needs to be. And so
that's why that hug meant so much to you, because he didn't. You just know he felt it, right? He felt it. And whenever I get someone to say, I'm really missing Andy today, it's so incredibly helpful to me, because so often I feel like I'm the only one, right? Mm-hmm. Or my little family is the only one that even remembers that he was here, and that other people don't miss him at all. So
exactly. And it's especially as time goes by, the first couple of months, there's an outpouring of love and people really want to rally behind you. But, at this point in time, 10 months down the road, there's a handful of people, I can count them, that really do check in and check up. And so showing up is really, the only thing that I would say. You don't have to do much, just a text, just a mention or talk. I think people confuse, distance with space. And when you say you want to give someone distance, give them time to process and everything, that's fine, but don't disappear. Just what we really want and need is space to talk about our child, to talk about our grief, to talk about our loss. And there's this misconception that we don't want to talk about our child, but we really, really do. And so I know what you're saying about wanting to try to figure out the perfect thing to say. There's common sayings that we get a lot. He's in a better place now with God, or God only challenges the strongest among us. Or my personal least favorite one is really I can't even imagine. And that saying, I just don't understand how to respond to that. Like where did that come from? Some people even say, I don't even want to imagine, as if, they're trying to distance themselves from me. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. It's like a plague, like, don't talk about it, stay away. But I
honestly think that's why people don't, because they're so fearful. If they acknowledge that it can happen to you, that means it can happen to me. And that means it can happen again. And I'm just better off just pretending like it didn't even happen than acknowledging it can be.